Howdy, y'all. How you going? Welcome back to the show. Today we are having some fun. We are tier list ranking Australian flag. So we're just going to jump straight into it. And then I do have a Wikipedia page pulled up of shockingly a lot of Australian flags. Some historical ones, some very interesting ones that you wouldn't think of. So we're going to take a look at those as well. And as someone who, likes flags, they're very interesting, right? Some flags are really cool, some are really interesting, and some are just not great. We're just going to have fun with this today. So these are just based off the appearance and, nothing, you got to keep in mind, I don't even know these flags when it comes to like different states and territories and stuff. I'm not going to know anything about the history of these or anything. None of this is political or anything like that. This is just the flag itself and its appearance. That's it. So let's get started. S tier, obviously, at the top, and then, think of school, A, B, C, D, E, and F. E, usually isn't in there, but you get it. F is a fail, so you don't want to be down here. Anywho, let's get started. All right, first up, we have the Aboriginal flag. I really, really dig this. Look at the color scheme. I'm a big fan of anything with the sun in it. I don't know why. I just think the sun is cool and super powerful, and I get that vibe here, right? I think outback. I think sun, maybe like a sunset. Anywho, this flag is powerful yet simple, and I think in flags that goes a long way. So with that, I think this is easily, I'm going to put it in A tier. S tier, I'm going to try and make really hard. A flag's got to literally blow me away to be S tier, but A tier is just a really great flag, and that one is no doubt an A. And as for the rest of these, I'm going to skip around the ones I know, and then we'll see how many I don't know, and we'll try and figure out what they are and then rank them. So, little curveball, we're going to throw New Zealand in there. This is in the bunch. I didn't make this tier list. This was in there. This is the New Zealand flag, and I really do like the New Zealand flag. I love the red stars. I think it's a cool-looking flag, so we're going to put that in B tier. It's pretty neat, and I know the difference. A lot of people tend to mix these up. I think that's pretty sad, pretty funny, but yeah, that is New Zealand's flag. Okay, now we get, I'll do the states. So the Australian state flags, I got to admit, after seeing some different provinces and state flags from other countries, as well as 50 individual state flags here in the U.S. Some here are really crappy, but some here are really truly amazing. I must say, if I'm being honest, okay, I'm being honest here, the state flags for Australia, I don't know, they're lacking creativity a little bit, and the reason I say that is it gets tiresome, like that same design, right? I do wish they would be a little more daring with the state flags, right? I think their country flag, the actual Australia flag, of course, with the Southern Cross, the Union Jack, and just that clean color scheme, it works, right? It's very iconic. It's been established, and I do like the national flag. But seeing it kind of repeated, that formula repeated for the state flags over and over again with just these little details, not my favorite thing, I'll be honest. So Western Australia with the Black Swan, this is one of the cooler ones just because that is pretty neat. Of course, I wish it was more, extravagant than this. So we're going to put it in D tier, right? And a little scoreboard update. I'm going to do it like normal. So S tier is like amazing, and then think of school, A, B, C, D, and F. E, kind of weird, right? I just got rid of that tier, so we're going to leave it blank, and we're not going to use it. All right, Tasmania's flag. Now, again, really beautiful state. I love that it's an island, and it's just got its own flavor, right? It's part of Australia, but it's a lot different. So I think this flag could be really cool, and this just falls short. So that little lion there, it doesn't scream Tasmania to me. Sorry, it's going to have to be F tier. South Australia with the magpie, pretty cool. Again, should be way more elaborate than this. Something a little more creative, but I do like that little logo on there. So we're going to throw it in D tier. All right, so Victoria up next. And, of course, zooming in, it follows the same old formula, so this gets a little tiresome, a little old. But I like seeing the stars with that crown. It's pretty cool. It's more of a clean design, so D tier still. I don't think it's better than these. Now we have New South Wales right here. Again, this is kind of cool. It's pretty, I feel like it's old-fashioned. I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean retro, really retro. And I think it's kind of neat because of that. But again, I wish they would do a different formula than this same old Union Jack in the corner and slap a tiny representation of the state right here. Unfortunately, I will have to put that in F tier. Then we come to Northern Territory. Now, this is more like it. This is, I feel like, what the other states should try and do is something like this. Like I said, Australia's national flag is awesome, but I feel like the states should, try and do something different than that since the national flag is that way. Do a different formula for your state, right? Northern Territory has taken this approach, and I love how you still have the stars here, and I like how it's black with that perfect shade of like outback red, outback orange, whatever you want to call it. It just looks like earth, right? These earth tones with this sort of like desert looking flower or rocks. I'm not sure what they represent, but it's very cool. I like this flag a lot. You know what? Northern Territory, this is an awesome flag. I'm a desert guy, so I think that boosts it a little bit for me. I'm going to be daring here, and I'm going to put this in S tier. That flag is awesome. And my apologies, I did forget Queensland. So back to the kind of same old formula. Although Queensland, again, this emblem is pretty cool. Slightly different than the Victoria one, right? In the way it incorporates the gear of the Queen here. So I don't know. Again, this could be really cool. I think it's a really cool state, but we're not using that, right? We're just using the appearance of the flag here. Unfortunately, I just feel like it's going to have to go F tier for now. Then we have the ACT, the Australian Capital Territory. Again, this is different. I really like this. Now, it's a similar layout, though be it different than the rest of them. It's a similar layout to the Northern Territory flag. And again, I like it. I like the colors. It's very bright and commanding. You have that little slice of Australia over here, right? That familiar look. But again, you have more of a broad, bigger, and unique aspect to it. Very interesting kind of logo here. I like the swords and the castle. It's pretty cool. And so I think this is going to be probably B tier. It's a really good one. I don't like it as much as the Northern Territory flag, but it's up there. It's definitely more creative than these. All right, so now we're going to do some external territories. First up, we have Christmas Island right here. Now, this is a pretty cool flag. I like the little depiction of it in the center here, and then whatever, like, is this like a dove or some sort of flying bird? Very, I like the color scheme, I guess. Again, with that familiar Australia blue and the stars, it's very interesting, right? It kind of clashes, but it works. So I am going to put this in, ooh, this is tough. I'm going to say C tier. It's better than these. It's not my favorite ever, but it's interesting. Then we have the flag of the Cocos Islands. Now, this one is really cool. You have like a palm tree up here in this circle. I don't know if that's supposed to be the sun or just a circle, but regardless, I love the color scheme, the gold and this green here. Again, we have that familiar Southern Cross or the stars, and then this cool crescent moon. I really like this one, even better than the last one. So we're going to put that, probably an A tier. I like it a lot. I really do. It works for me. Alrighty, and then finally we have Norfolk Island. Now this one is a lot different than the rest, which in this case I respect, right? It's got this cool tree. It's got this clean white and green color scheme. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I do like it. So Norfolk Island, I'm going to put this as a solid B. Alrighty, and then we jump into some random flags. Now some of these I might not even be able to find what they are. This one I was. This is the Australian Royal Air Force insignia. And this is, again, that kind of old format, but it's a little bit different, right? We have a different shade of blue. It's like a really, almost like a sky blue, right? And then, of course, we have the Southern Cross, the main star over here, and it's kind of cool, right? This logo with the intertwined circles and a kangaroo. Honestly, it's pretty iconic, so this one's got to rate a little bit higher for me. I think it's neat. So yeah, I'm going to put this in C. It's just different enough. I like it. Okay, and as for the rest of these on this page over here, I was not able to find exactly what these mean, and I don't want this to be too long. So I'm just kind of going to run through these just based on how they look. So this one is very similar to the last one, though it doesn't have the kangaroo, so I guess I'll put it at D tier. And this one, Again, that old formula, although it's a little different, so I'll put it in D tier as well. This one I feel like is some sort of territory, though I can't find it at the second. Now I like the black and yellow. It's kind of interesting, so I'll put it in C tier. This one is way different. Now it's not my favorite flag design ever, but I appreciate how different it is out of this group. And, the colors are interesting. We'll put it in C tier as well. Now this is kind of cool, just because, I don't know, I might be biased. Red is my favorite color, and this looks like the Australia flag, but in red. I believe at one point it was like that in history. I'm not sure. So without knowing much, I do like the appearance of it. I'm going to put it in B tier. A white flag I've never seen, so I don't know if this is some sort of alternate flag or some government flag or, military flag. I'm not really sure. Looks pretty snazzy and white, though. It's interesting, right? It's like really bright, and it has a different look than most white flags do. Usually white flags look pretty plain. This one looks kind of interesting. So I'm going to put it in B tier as well. Just for the record, the regular Australia flag is missing from this, which I think is kind of hilarious. So if you picture, use our imagination here, I would put the regular Australian flag that we all have seen before, right? I would put that in A tier. I really do like it. Alrighty, and then we have, I believe this is, I couldn't find this on the Wikipedia site either, but I think this is, I'm probably going to say this wrong. I think it's Torres Islander or something like that. This one's very interesting. I like the color scheme on it, and that logo in the middle is kind of interesting. So I'm going to put this at A tier. I like it a lot. So there's the tier list. Picture the regular Australian flag up here towards the top. Northern Territory getting the only S tier, and I think it deserves it. I think it's really cool. It's very different, very unique, and you got to make S tier hard to get, but that one earned it. Other than that, like I said, this is just for fun. I would love to know what you think of some of these flags. Do you like them the way they are, or do you think it would be fun to update them? Give me your thoughts on that. Like I said, that formula, it's just, it's a little overdone. I would appreciate if they did some different kind of designs. I just think it'd be fun, right? And to round out the video, we're just going to look at some interesting flags together. So we have the standard flags, like I was talking about, the national flag, and look, it is well done. I think it's iconic. Most people, I would hope, know it outside of Australia. If they don't, it's a really cool flag. I think people should know it. And then you just get to some interesting like sovereign, governor general flags. Okay. You have state governor flags. So a few of these are just slightly different. Look at the governor of Victoria has a yellow flag. It's kind of cool, right? Although the yellow and the Union Jack don't really go well together. They kind of clash, don't they? Then you have these civil ensigns, and these are kind of cool, right? You have the red. You have this kind of sky blue again. Then we have the Royal Australian Navy. Now, these are pretty cool. Again, with this kind of layout, the white flags look interesting to me. They really do. Look at the Chief of the Navy one. This one is pretty cool. You gotta admit, I like this one a lot. Interesting, when we go down to Royal Australian Air Force, now one of these, of course, was the kangaroo, which is super cool, right? But interestingly enough, this one of the Australian Air Chief Marshal, look at this flag. I like this a lot. I like the color scheme. I think it's really interesting, and you might think, why does he like that a lot? Well, this reminds me of something. Let me show you. Take a look at this. This is the flag of Chicago. This is the Chicago flag. And this is what my logo on my channel is very loosely modeled after. You can see that color scheme, right? The white, the light blue, and then, of course, the red in the middle. Yeah, I mean, granted, it's different. It's not the exact same flag in different colors. No, but you see what I mean. The layout is similar, and I just thought that it was kind of interesting. When I saw it, I was like, whoa. I immediately thought of the Chicago flag. And then we have customs flags here. Not much to look at there. And then, Commonwealth Lighthouse Service. That's pretty interesting. God, Wikipedia does everything. Emergency services. That's kind of cool if you see that, right? You have like fire and emergency services flags. Sporting flags. Look at this. Flag of the Flag Society of Australia. There you go. Now this is pretty cool. It's like a flag waving on a flag. Actually, it's kind of weird, right? And of course, you have the states the state flags that we were talking about earlier. You have some historical flags here of different states, so that's kind of interesting. But it seems like they've all mostly followed that same old formula. Then, of course, some other territories, historical again. And then these are interesting. These were proposed state flags, so I guess they never went through, but they were proposed. And at least I can appreciate they were different, though, I'm not a fan of this design down here. I'm really not. Although this one's just kind of interesting, I guess. Kind of fun seeing the kangaroo and the emu on there. And finally, look, we even have some city flags. Now, of course, these differ from even state flags, as I just showed you. The Chicago flag, right, is different than the Illinois state flag, right? So luckily, these are a little more different and creative than the state flags. And so look, like you have a flag of Adelaide right here. Kind of interesting, right? And here's some more, right? Ooh, look at that one. That's interesting. That's really like pops. Look at Melbourne's flag. Okay. Now, those are somewhat similar. Some of these aren't showing up. I'm not sure if that's on my end or what. Look at the Murray River. Ooh, look at Lord Howe Island. This is cool. I dig this a lot. Look at that. The water, the mountains, the palm tree, this interesting background. It's like kind of like the Union Jack without the red bits, I guess. Interesting. I like this one, though. And down here, you just get some like random political flags. You get some religious flags, ethnic group flags. So these are actually pretty neat. I got to say, I really like this one right here. It's kind of cool. You even have immigrant flags. Okay. Historical flags. Again, some other ones. And Australian freight companies. Okay. Interesting. Didn't expect to see that on here. Even yacht clubs. There you go. There are some yacht flags of Australia. I just don't know that life, man. I don't have a yacht. So. And then finally, some microstate flags. So very impressive list of flags that I feel like that's not even all of them. But Wikipedia is showing some pretty thick roster of flags there. So anywho, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I would love to hear your comments on this one. If you totally, agree with my lineup, maybe you totally disagree. What flags stand out to you? And if there's any I missed, really cool flags from Australia or from New Zealand or from really anywhere, interesting flags that you think people in the comments as well as I should look at, let me know. Throw a like on there if you enjoyed this. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. And until next time, y'all, I'll catch you later.